welcome to JH Coaching. Today I'm going to show you how to make an isotonic drink. That's a hydration drink which has some carbohydrates and energy in as well. As we know, drinking and hydrating is really important, in fact critical when we're doing endurance events, and even a very small amount of dehydration can really impede your performance. So it's important to get those liquids in. It's also a really good idea if you're doing endurance events to think about trying to get some energy in through your drinking. It's just much easier by doing a combination of drinking and eating, in my experience. Everybody's a bit different, some people prefer to take it all through food. So what have we got? First of all, I can't take credit for this recipe. This comes from Nigel Mitchell's book, Fueling the Cycling Revolution, but I do like it. I think it's a good recipe for lots of reasons. First of all, a good recipe because it's got a mixture of fructose from some apple juice and maltodextrin from a maltodextrin powder, and it's really good to have a combination of carbohydrates when you're trying to intake carbohydrates through drinking, or because it guarantees more absorption because they're being absorbed in different ways by the body. Also, with the apple juice, you're going to get a little bit of sodium, some magnesium, and also potassium. And all of these things are really helpful in terms of hydrating the muscles and in your performance in general. So, the easiest way to make this is to make it directly into the pot that you're going to use, rather than messing about. All you need is 150 millilitres of apple juice. Most of these type of flasks have the measurements up the side, so you can just measure as you go. So I'll just pour that in. There we go. So that's your apple juice, that's your fructose. Incidentally, a lot of pre-bought powders use glucose rather than fructose. Fructose is also another way that's easy, it's another kind of carbohydrate that's really easy to absorb. And you're also getting the naturally occurring magnesium, potassium and sodium rather than having to add those in as extra things. So then for your maltodextrin is really easy to get hold of. You can get hold of it in most pharmacies. And it's good to have a mixture of the two. So it's good to have a mixture of the fructose and the maltodextrin, and then you know that you're going to be more easily absorbing things. It's always really difficult to get this in without making a complete mess. But anyway, I think I've managed it. Okay, so then what I normally do before I go to the next stage is I just whack the lid on and I give it a good shake, just because you've got the room to shake it. So 1 serving of this will give you 30 grams of carbohydrate and 123 calories. So you can then add that and factor that into anything else that you might be eating along the way. So we just need to fill these up. These are usually 500 millilitres and this one is. So I can just top this up now with my water right to the top with these ones. Fortunately, when we run, we do also agitate it a bit, so that helps with the mixture along the way. Okay, so that's your isotonic drink. That's going to give you a good ratio of maltodextrin to fructose in terms of your energy that you need. It's going to be kind to your stomach because maltodextrin is kind to your stomach, and it's also going to be hydrating you. I would recommend sipping something like this every 15 minutes. There's lots of jury out about whether you should just drink to thirst or whether you should drink to a set routine. I am typically not very good at drinking, so I do not drink to thirst. I drink to a schedule, and that schedule is to have a good slug every 15 minutes. You could take 2 bottles of this, or you could combine this with a bottle of water depending on what you're doing. But generally speaking, if you're doing something over 90 minutes, you're going to benefit from some carbohydrates and you're certainly going to need to hydrate. It tastes nice, and that's another key important fact in terms of drinking, especially if you're not someone who's motivated to drink. Having something that actually tastes nice is really going to help you and motivate you to drink along the way. If you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more about ultra running and get some general hints and tips about training and racing, then do click the subscribe button and do click the bell, and then you'll always get a notification whenever a new video pops up and you'll never miss one. Thanks for listening. Bye.